Hello and welcome back to Dan's All About Arsenal 1886. I had to get on here to record, obviously, the reaction show to last night's game. Not as soon as I'd want, but it was unbelievable game to go to last night. As you know, if any of you follow me on socials and everything else, I was at the game. I was lucky enough to be there. I was lucky enough also to be down the end where all the goals were as well. So I really a phenomenal night that I think everyone enjoyed. The first half obviously was a little bit tough and painful, mainly by the ref, from my point of view. But we're here to talk about the game, a reaction from all. I want to hear your comments, your thoughts. Are we going to win it all? Are we going to win the Champions League? I want to know. So get down in the comments. Let me know. Comment. I'll always reply. Come back to you guys as well from that point of view. But I want to get into today's slideshow and look at the kind of match reaction of what we kind of saw last night. But it wasn't an unbelievable game overall. Atmosphere was amazing as well. I don't think I stopped singing, slightly lost the voice, and it was really good. I think the crowd really got behind, the team. As soon as that first goal went in, it did go a little bit flat in the first half, but it was very stop. And I'll be honest, the ref was not for me. He kept blowing up every time they fell over, tripped over. We got 7,000 the first half. It was a bit of a joke. And I think what happened in the second, we just scored so quickly, and there was no time for him to pull up or book anyone else or anything like that. So it was a much better second half from that point of view. We had some phenomenal performances from the guys as well, the team, which we're going to look at. And we've got the ratings and everything else. But looking here, I see 4-0. I still can't quite believe it. I predicted 2, as you know, if you'd watched the pre-show from that point of view. And I think I would have been right. But we didn't expect Gyökeres to pop and score 2. But what a phenomenal result for him as well. And I'm so pleased for him. You can see the relief, and I've got pictures coming up on his face as well. He deserves it. He worked unbelievably hard. And watching it in live as well in person, you see him every time. Someone gets the ball, he's turned and he's running, he's looking, he's going. So he's literally working so hard for the team. And finally, I feel like he's back, and I think everyone enjoyed it from that point of view. And I mean, all I heard yesterday, which I'm going to play for you, and hopefully you can hear it. This was the crowd yesterday. As soon as he scored twice in quick succession, this is what the crowd was singing, as we know. What is this? And that was literally the rest of the game, I think. Obviously, we've still got Gabriel Magalhaes, obviously chant. I do love that as well. And he scored an absolute blinder. Obviously, he's a bit of a set piece king as well, with obviously his head. He's unbelievable. As a defender, I think he scored one of the most goals, I think, in Europe, was a stat I'd heard as well. But to start us off, put us at ease, it was unbelievable. The first half we had a goal disallowed, which I think at the time in the stadium, you weren't aware because it was down the other end, because Saka we saw scored and we didn't understand what happened. But from following up after, it was Martinelli was offside and it was disallowed. But there was no rhyme or reason in the stadium at the time, so we're all a bit confused. So I think after that kind of first half was done, second half started off pretty strongly. From that point of view, I've been going on having talked and asked you guys to subscribe. If you've got this far into the video, 3 minutes 55, subscribe. Come back another time for more videos. We want to get to a point where we're doing live so we can all interact. So we need everyone to subscribe in, and we'll get to a point where we can start going live. 8 o'clock in the evenings would be fantastic. But let's keep increasing those subs. We're over 60, heading towards 70. I want to get up to 100 plus. Even the next few weeks would be great. We're doing well so far for only being going for a few weeks. So thanks so much for everyone's support so far over on TikTok, Instagram. Check that out. We do put some bits on there as well. So obviously 4-0. Obviously scorers there, Gabriel Martinelli, Gyökeres 2. We've got the timestamp. So all within a real short space of time. So probably the best 13 minutes you'll see for a while, especially at the Emirates. It was just unbelievable. And Atletico Madrid, from that point of view, they were just stumped. You could see nothing was happening. And in all honesty, that second half, I never felt worried. A bit like when we're playing Fulham and West Ham and stuff like that. I've never kind of worried that we were going to concede. And that, I think, shows the the strength of our defence. I think teams genuinely are worried about how we're going to break us down. I think they recorded one shot on target, which, again, it's phenomenal, really, when you look at it and who they've got on their team and everything else. But we just played them off the park. We contained them. We didn't allow them to do anything. And obviously, we had people, coming in. Miles Lewis-Skelly had a hell of a game. He done phenomenally well. And obviously, the guy, he set up Martinelli, wasn't it? So the driving run he made, I think he's showing, what he brings to the team from that point of view. So I'd be interested to see if he then starts the next couple of games, or if he's going to be rotated again with Calafiori. It was nice to see him starting and seeing what he done last season, really, because he's such a young, phenomenal player still. But it just shows, it gives us a different option. Calafiori is all over the place. He's had a great season so far, but then he plays someone like this who just drives the ball forward and gets the perfect assist. It was unbelievable. A great run. You just saw him powering through. So really well done to Miles as well. Obviously, he's the goal scorers, and you can see what it means to them all from that point of view. We've got some funny pictures as well. The one in the thumbnail. You've got Martinelli at one point doing this. I think I've got it later on, but the quick goals from all of these guys was unbelievable. Obviously, you got Gabriel celebrating there, which is a fantastic picture. And the team, they all just rally around each other to celebrate these goals, which is unbelievable and fantastic. I mean, you can see in his face, Gyökeres looks what it means. But, but Martinelli, I'm not sure quite what he was doing, similar to what the other Gabriel did when we scored against Lisbon, wasn't it, last year? But I think from Gyökeres' point of view, that you've probably all seen the post-match interviews of him, and you can just see the relief on him. Very jokey, really good spirits, big smile on his face, and, well deserved. And I hope that's him announcing himself for Arsenal in the Champions League. Many more to come. It was very much strikers' goals. The two goals weren't pretty by any means, but they were unbelievably fantastic from that point of view. So I'm just really, really happy, and we want to see more of this. But the team rallied round, supported him, and he got man of the match, which was, fantastic for him to see. And I'd love to say, is this the start really? We're getting more, but when you look at it, he's had 5 goals in 11 games, so we're starting to pick up pace. He scored the most goals for Arsenal this year now, which is interesting, which is what you want from your centre forward. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. Has he arrived? Is he here to stay? Has he really announced himself? And I think everyone loves him. People talk really highly of him. The work rate, I think, has always been talked about. So if he's not scoring, he's doing so much off the ball, which we know. And you see him in the flesh or watch him in a game, you'll see how much he's running for the team, trying to get in the right position. And today he popped up in 2 positions, which he knocked in the goals. Again, weren't pretty. First one, he kicked it in. The second one was, I think it was off his leg or something like that. Literally, it's bounced up. And Gabriel Magalhaes as well, obviously headed it across. It's something they've practiced maybe in the set pieces, getting it across the goal, because he's had to flick the other day to Trossard. So he's got 2 assists, in recent weeks. So unbelievable from a centre forward and a centre back, but great news. So interesting stats. Wanted to share this one because I took it straight off Arsenal's website, to be fair, because I thought it was a really interesting fact. But the most successful home clean sheets in the Champions League group stage. So this is ongoing since, as you can see, September 2023. So we've got the most clean sheets with 9, and that's going back some. You can see some of the other teams in there, big names, big teams, but that is something that defensively, it just shows you again how impressive we've been this season, and it continues. But this has been going the last couple of years, group stage wise. We're on fire, to be fair, and we're going to continue as well. So our last 9 home games in the UEFA Champions League group stage, you can see just how many goals we scored. So look at going from, obviously, bottom is more recent, all the way back up to Eindhoven, 4-0, Seville 2-0, Lens 6-0. I think I was there on that one as well. PSG 2-0, which I just felt like we were going to beat them later on. Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0, Monaco, Dynamo Zagreb, Olympiacos, and when you add all this up, it come to, I've had it on a different side, but it was through all those, there was 27 goals in 9 matches, average of 3 per game, which is phenomenal. Well, obviously, I wanted to share this as well because player ratings as well, just to see kind of where everyone matched, if it matched your expectations as well. Real, so he had very little to do, from that point of view. Got himself into a few dicey situations at one point. He was right by us on the corner flag when he come and kind of slid. I think it was Simeone, and had to take him out, and they threw the ball very quick. And he probably should have scored. Luckily, it went wide. Could have been a different game from that point of view. But Real, in fairness, it generally, no issues, solid game still. Just you see a few silly options, but luckily he got away with it. Lewis Skelly at 7.2 rating. He had a great game, great assist, great run. I think that's what that game's going to be remembered for. He won't be forgotten quickly for that one. Gabriel Magalhaes, from his point of view, assist, a goal, 8.7. Fantastic. Highest rating on the team of the day. Saliba, solid 7. Timber, 6.8. Wasn't maybe as in there, but again, solid defensive work. Declan Rice, obviously, again, was everywhere with him and Zubamendi. Solid midfield performance. As I think everyone played well. There was no one who had a bad game from that point of view. Just people got a bit more involved or got to see more of the ball. Obviously, goal scorers are going to instantly go up. Obviously, Martinelli 7.5. Gyökeres got the 8.5 for the 2 goals, which is again fantastic, and Saka 6.7. You can see against them compared to the other teams, there were some not great performances from there, but I think we can see that overall, and the result shows it. I think the XG was just under. I think it was just over 2. Obviously, the 4 goals. Fantastic. Set pieces, 50-50 on open play and set goals as well. So really good result. Just wanted to share this as well because this is something that keeps popping up. It's about Spanish teams and us versus them. So from that point of view, we have got a phenomenal run against Spanish sides. So any Spanish teams coming up against us are going to be worried, and I think no one wants to come against us at the moment. So bring on the later games. We've got still some big games coming up. Some big clubs. Of Bayern Munich, as we know, is probably one of the bigger ones that we want to get revenge from a few years ago where they beat us as well. So that's one I really, really do want to win. But yeah, from that is the end of the slideshow. But from the point of view, guys, I really want to get your thoughts though on kind of your thoughts on the game, because the performance overall was unbelievable. The atmosphere was unreal, and I think we've got a lot to look forward to. Obviously, this weekend we've got Crystal Palace, who've been a solid team as well. So it's one that we need to be careful of as well. I think they've got a lot going forward, but again, us defensively, I think we could hold any team back. I just want to make sure if we do concede, which I find. I don't know if we're ever going to at this stage at the moment, but if we do, it's how we react to it. And that's going to be an interesting one going forward as well. We reacted well against Newcastle, as I've said before, and that's going to be really important going forward, and how we hold ourselves accountable for anything we take. But going forward, if we do, we need to make sure we react, keep our heads, and continue to go, because I think every game I've watched in recent time, as long as we always feel like something's coming, we're chipping away, we're working out. I heard on another channel was a really good analogy. It's like picking a lock. You're working out, you're changing pieces, you're moving bits around until you finally, break through and unlock that door. And I think that's a really good way to kind of think about it. So, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts were on the game. Obviously, we'll do a little preview on Crystal Palace coming up. That's not till Sunday. And again, we want to continue to stay on top of the league. So we've got to watch ourselves from that point of view. As I'm recording this, we've got some other Champions League games going on. But I did want to touch base on some of the results from yesterday as well. Obviously, there was a ton of goals last night. Did anyone flick over watching every other games? But you got Barcelona 6-1 against Olympiacos, which is huge. They've scored a fair few goals at the moment. Obviously, us scoring 4 by Leverkusen, getting beat 7-2 by PSG, which is a mad score as well. Dortmund 4-2 against FC Copenhagen. Great game for Newcastle, 3-0 against Benfica. I thought that was going to be a tougher game for them, to be honest with you. PSV and Napoli, again, 6-2 to PSV. What's happening to Napoli there? PSV, obviously, we've hammered them the last few times we've seen them, so that's a bit of a surprise. Inter continued to impress, 4-0. And then you've got Villarreal and Man City. Obviously, they scored and won 2-0 on that game. And obviously, the games that are going on tonight, we've got, a couple of games kicked off early and already completed. So at the time of speaking, Athletic Club won 3-1. Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt, it was 3-1 to Galatasaray. And then currently we're about 40 minutes in. Monaco and Tottenham 0-0, Atlanta 0-0, Bayern Munich 3-0, blimey, on that side of things. Chelsea winning 2-1 currently against Ajax. Liverpool on 1-1 Eintracht Frankfurt, sorry, Liverpool 1-1 at the moment. Real Madrid, Juventus is 0-0. Marseille Sporting Lisbon, 1-0 to Marseille. So some interesting results. So we'll look over the next 45 minutes, see what happens, and go from there. But obviously, I'll check you in the next one. And please remember to subscribe. It is always appreciated. And, it goes a long way from a young, early channels moving forward. So we'd appreciate it if you can subscribe. We'd love it. And obviously reach out to the TikTok, Instagrams as well. If you want to kind of DM, you're welcome anytime. I'm here to discuss everything about Arsenal. So thanks for your time. And I'll check you guys in the next one. And in common, you Gunners.